Number five. Number five. What is your prediction on the next two Strawberry Shortcake CGI specials? You know what? I mean, for one thing, I guess I can see them having like a Valentine's Day CGI special and maybe one about Strawberry's birthday. But if you look at this concept art, it is just flat out gorgeous. Just look at this. It's so pristine and amazing. You know, I would easily be down for more of this concept promo art of Strawberry Shortcake CGI specials. Because the first two, they look amazing. I would easily be down for more of these Strawberry Shortcake CGI specials if they have more of this amazing looking concept art. I can't believe that it looks so good. And as for the final product, you know, I don't mind them. They're actually pretty good. They look exactly like their 2D counterparts, and they actually kind of work in CGI. I'll honestly take this over this. But my predictions for the next Strawberry Shortcake CGI specials: Valentine's Day and Strawberry's birthday. It's just so impressive to see how they managed to pull it off in CGI so well for this series. And I gotta say, I'm up for more of it. I can't wait to see how more of these CGI specials will work. Because I gotta say, Halloween and the Christmas one, they are pretty dang cool. And number 6. Do you miss Cartoon Network Studios? My answer, yes. Okay, Cartoon Network Studios is not gone. And it never was gone. Because that Cartoon Brew article is not legit. It just led to so many people panicking over that because, oh, Cartoon Network is dying, no! Now, it was just moving to the new Warner Bros. Building, and it wasn't just Cartoon Network Studios. The WB Ranch, that also had to get moved out. They were moving these companies, and here's another thing. This was leased. They were finding a building, and they decided to lease this up until the lease expired, and that led to Cartoon Network Studios moving out. It's not going away, and it is not shutting down. It's just no longer its own entity being part of Warner Bros. Discovery now. Oh, well, not Warner Bros. Discovery, Warner Bros. Animation. And Warner Bros. Animation, it also moved out to that building. And no, this was not because of Warner Bros. Discovery. This was planned since AT&T. This was designed by Frank Gehry. Yes, the Frank Gehry. And this building alone actually looks really beautiful, in my opinion. I gotta say, it looks really nice. And that right here, I honestly wish all these people best of luck. Yes, the memories are gone, but they will never be forgotten. And there's stuff that might as well be kept on that new building now. And the Cartoon Network Studios, it's not going away. And it was leased by this company called Hollywood Productions, as it has taken over the Cartoon Network Studios building. I'm glad that it isn't demolished, because the reason why it was leased. And you know what? I don't mind that. It was really quite a pleasant surprise, but Cartoon Network Studios, it will always keep going, especially with Cartoon Network. Even with stuff with Warner Bros. Discovery, Cartoon Network, it's still going on, and I still have hope for upcoming originals. Okay, number 7. Do you think Warner Bros. Discovery should cancel Barney's World? That's not by Warner Bros. Discovery. Barney's World is going to be by Nelvana. It is not going to be by Warner Bros. Discovery, and they're not canceling it, and they're never going to cancel it because it's not done by them. They just acquired it. The same can go to All Engines Go. It is an acquisition. It's not an original. So chances are, Barney's World, it's easily going to be on Cartoonito, and it's not going to be canceled by Warner Bros. Discovery. Who knows if Mattel and Nelvana has plans in the future for this series that it might be canned there in the next few years, but Warner Bros. Discovery, they don't have any involvement other than just acquiring this show. Number 8. What is your opinion on Nimona? Nimona is easily a great swan song to Blue Sky. Great animation. Love the cell shade animation. Glad that it got saved by Annapurna. The movie itself, it's amazing. It has good LGBT rep. And I gotta say, Nimona, great show. I mean, no, not a great show. Great movie. Such a great movie. And yeah, there were some clips for the scrap Blue Sky version, but I'm glad that Annapurna saved it. And it felt like a good send-off to the company. Because that right here, it was special. And Nimona really tells it all to be a great animated film that is based on a graphic novel. Number 9. Do you watch Bluey, and what is your opinion on it? Bluey is a great show. Bluey is a very special show that is loved by parents and children, has good parenting skills, and it's easily a great Australian animated series for all ages. But in terms of shows being done by Dale Pearson, I respect for Bluey for what it is. Bluey really brought a lot of specialty in terms of Australian animation, and it brought a good spotlight to be enjoyed by both kids and adults. But I'll easily prefer Strange Shores over Bluey. I mean, hey, all the episodes, Season 2, accessed on the Roku channel. Too bad the UK and Latin America couldn't have Season 2, though. The series itself, oh yeah, I really like this show a lot. But Bluey, yeah, it's good for what it is. And of course, it's Peppa Pig, but done right. Bluey will easily be cherished by so many people, especially on parents. Oh boy. Number 10. What was the worst Sony Pictures animation movie that you have ever saw? My answer, Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania. I seriously don't blame you at this point. Surf's Up 2 Wave Mania is unnecessary. It was used to cash grab it was a soulless cash grab to WWE. And it got released on video. Imagine if it actually got released in theaters. Sony Pictures Animation would have lost a lot of money. Unless it's those WWE people because of WWE celebrities. I would say the Emoji Movie. But the Emoji Movie was just cliched. It was just a cliched take on Wreck-It Ralph and Inside Out. This was unnecessary. Because the first Surf's Up movie was great. It was a documentary about Cody being a surfer. And it was, well, it's like a mockumentary, but it was really good. It should have been a one-and-done film because no one asked for this movie. And, oh gosh, don't get me started on that scene. That scene alone, just no. Just no. Oh, just no. Overall, yeah, Surf's Up 2 Wave Mania. It's horrible. 2017 was a rough year for Sony Pictures Animation. Thank goodness for 2018 when it brought a renaissance with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Alright, so Ty said, number 24, what are your thoughts on Paramount merger? Microsoft. And I guess I might as well respond to the 24th question first. The Paramount and Microsoft merger, I can see that being likely. Because they have the games. And I can see that happening with Paramount. And no, I don't think it'll ever happen with Warner Bros. Discovery. Because they couldn't even afford it. They couldn't afford to merge with Paramount. Microsoft? They have a lot of money. They have a lot of money and I could see that happening. This might lead to like remastered versions of stuff like Nicktoons Unite. And oh boy, imagine if like Banjo-Kazooie got its own animated series by Nickelodeon because of this. There may be some flaws, but then again, that's how all mergers have. They all have their flaws. But that is easily more likely for Microsoft and Paramount than Warner Bros. Discovery Paramount. Because Microsoft can afford it. Warner Bros. Discovery can't. Okay, so number 1. He said, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? Oh, yeah, definitely cookies and cream. I really like cookies and cream. I remember when I was a kid, I remember getting some money and purchasing some of those cookies and cream cups on these ice cream trucks. The taste of cookies and cream. It's cookies and milk. Cookies and milk and ice cream. What more could you want? It is so good and so delicious. Chocolate and vanilla, they go together very nicely. And cookies and cream is easily that. Number 2. What's your thoughts on the future of Disney Channel and Disney Junior? I can easily say that they would still go on for so many years. Unfortunately, I couldn't say the same to Disney XD. Even with the whole Spectrum thing, these two, they can still go on with no problem. Number 3. What's your thoughts on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer got blocked on TV? I mean, Rudolph is still on Freeform. But if you're talking about CBS, yeah, I've heard that Rudolph and Frosty could not be on CBS or Paramount Plus either. I might do a video on that someday, actually. Overall, yeah, Rudolph and Frosty still on Freeform. Okay, I decided to skip some. I hope you understand there. So, let's go to number 6. Do you remember ABC Family? Well, I have. I have on of course, the 25 Days of Christmas monthly thing, but that's also used on Freeform. ABC Family, it did have stuff like Jetix content and had attempts on animation, but it was kind of forgettable aside for the monthly things, the monthly traditions, the month-long traditions with Christmas and Halloween. ABC Family is not that memorable in my opinion, compared to Freeform actually, aside from stuff like those, and Jetix, which it did on ABC Family, and the fact that Totally Spies aired there before it got moved to Cartoon Network. But hey, you know what's really quite interesting about Freeform? They got Family Guy Fridays! Oh yeah, they got Family Guy Fridays on Freeform. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Number 7. What's your thoughts on the future of PBS Kids? I can easily see them doing pretty well at this point. Though with Lila and the Loop, so many people are not impressed that it is being done by AI. Other than that, PBS Kids has some pretty good stuff. I mean, I'm excited for Pocket Save Today when that premieres later on this year. Okay, number 8. What's your favorite 6 to 12 kids channel you grew up with? Easy. Disney XD / Toon Disney. Because it was the only cable network that I had as a kid. I'll always remember the times having Disney XD when I was young. The same can go when it used to be Toon Disney. Number 9. What's your favorite SpongeBob SquarePants characters? Hey, aside from the main SpongeMan himself, I can't say no to my main boy, Fred the Fish. Okay, number 11. He said, what's your thoughts on the future of Nine Story and Wild Brain? You know, Wild Brain, it's doing pretty good. Aside from its poor business practices, it's doing good with stuff like Sonic Prime and Strawberry Shortcake Berry in the Big City. I'm excited to see what Wild Brain has in store this year or next year. Hopefully it will be a real interesting thing with Wild Brain itself. What are you think of Cartoon Network Canada's schedule? So, what do you think of Cartoon Network Canada's schedule? What do I think of it? Currently, Cartoon Network Canada's schedule is pretty good. They still have stuff from Teletoon. They still have older content there. They, of course, have Cartoon Network shows. They have action shows in the afternoons. And late night DC shows. So, oh yeah, movies. So yeah, Cartoon Network Canada, pretty good. Given the fact that it was a rebrand of Teletoon. Number 13. What's your opinion on Benzie Johnson and the Wacky Deli? Hey, I can't say no to Benzie Johnson. He does great videos. International channels, international animated series, foreign animated shows, and reviews on Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and does these what is the lowest rated channel of that year. I like Benzie Johnson. He actually inspired some of my videos, and I gotta say, it's a pretty cool YouTube channel, and he's a pretty cool person. As for the Wacky Deli, the videos are pretty interesting, and they can be quite understandable, especially with stuff like the foreign feeds of Cartoon Network. That video alone was amazing. One of my favorites. And I gotta say, that person does great in content too. Okay, number 14. What's your opinion on Prep and Landing? It's a pretty good Christmas special about these two elves being secret agents, and it managed to have sequels. It's a pretty good franchise, and I gotta say, Prep and Landing is quite enjoyable with a nice cup of hot cocoa. Number 15. What's your thoughts on the future of Funimation? Oh, the future of Funimation? Funimation's not a company anymore. Thanks a lot, Sony, for merging it with Crunchyroll, and thanks a lot, AT&T, of selling Crunchyroll, making it a monopolizer in the anime industry. It's now just a husk of a streaming service, because most of the stuff can be accessed on Crunchyroll. Oh, jeez. I wouldn't be really surprised if they decided to shut down Funimation and just focus on Crunchyroll, which is very unfortunate because Funimation had a history. Yes, Funimation had some pretty bad business, but Funimation was special. It was iconic, and now Crunchyroll taking over, it just doesn't feel like the same anymore. The future of Funimation, it's unfortunately Crunchyroll now. And Funimation's YouTube channel, it's now called Crunchyroll Dubs, which that right here also explains that it's just unfortunate that Funimation is just gone. And now it's just Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll needs to stop monopolizing the anime industry. It's just getting way too ridiculous at this point. Okay, number 16. Do you remember Timothy Goes to School on Discovery Kids Ready Set Learn Block? No. I mean, I have heard of it, but I have seen it on Cubo, and of course it's on the Bookworm Bunch. Discovery Kids, I have heard of it, but I haven't really seen it in airtime. But you know what's crazy? Funimation actually distributed Timothy Goes to School. Yeah, not only that, but they also distributed Brace Face. This was crazy that Funimation wasn't just anime in its early years. Like, they got Timothy Goes to School distributed? That's just crazy. And I guess I can answer number 18. What's your thoughts on the Lighthouse reruns that are airing on the actual Nickelodeon 2023? Well, that's because of Nickelodeon with the movies. And it was because of John Flannery and the scheduling during holiday months. If John Flannery stays as a scheduler on the next year, yeah, it's easily just going to be like that. Movies, SpongeBob. Not really on Lighthouse. Yeah, they're on Teen Nick. Okay, the Golden Fist 326 said, what do you think of the 9Go channel in Australia? I gotta say, it's pretty cool. Especially that it has both Barry Bees and the Alice Miranda series, both which are done by SLR Productions, and SLR Productions is an underrated Australian animation studio. Alright, so CGD2K10 said, will Paramount buy Konami Cross Media because Disney will lost the rights to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's and move to Blue TV? I wouldn't count on that. I think it might as well stay on Disney. I mean, Nicktoons treated Arc 5 dirty. You just had to wait so long just for new episodes, and then they just gave up. Brains, that ended up on Pluto TV. But, I don't think they would purchase Konami. They would have to license some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Series on Pluto TV, but, 7's, that's currently in the hands of Disney for being acquired, and it will take time for that to be on the Pluto TV channel, I think. So, yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen at this point. They did Arc 5 dirty. So, Ricky the Plush Gamer said, number 1, what's your opinion on Chibi Maruko-chan? Chibi Maruko-chan? Chibi Maruko-chan? I haven't heard of that in a long time. Well, I have, of course. I have heard of it, but I haven't seen it in a long time. Chibi Maruko-chan was a part of my childhood. I remember an independent station aired on Fuji TV Hour. It had Chibi Maruko-chan airings. It was only Japanese, of course, because it's not dubbed, which honestly reminds me. Maybe Viz Media can take a hold of Chibi Maruko-chan. Also, Viz Media, when are you going to have Doraemon to be distributed on all the episodes with the English dub by Bang Zoom Entertainment? But Chibi Maruko-chan? Oh yeah, I remember this so much when I was a young kid. And it had these Japanese mascots from Fuji TV, which apparently is like the Japanese version of Sesame Street on how long it lasted? The green dude and the red dude? Oh yeah, I remember this. But as for Chibi Maruko-chan, I wholeheartedly remembered it when I was a child. Oh, it was one of the first anime that I saw as a kid. And just seeing that takes me back. Number 2, have you seen Super Smash Bros. LOL? It's a series on YouTube. I haven't. Number 3, do you think Nick Jr. and Disney Dream are their classic shows from the 90s, 2000s, and even 2010s? You know, if I gotta be real honest, maybe Pluto TV can have like a Noggin channel. A channel with older Nick Jr. shows air on it. Because Nick Jr. and Pluto TV is mostly the newer ones, and they need a throwback network too. Nickelodeon, they have 90s kids. Nick Jr.? Noggin. I think Noggin is a perfect candidate to be used as a Pluto TV channel to air older shows, like the Backyardigans, and Blue's Clues, and Oswald, and even stuff like Little Bear, despite being a part of Nelvana. This right here can work. As for Disney Junior, maybe if they're interested on doing a throwback block on late nights, that might be possible. Though it would be nice if Disney would join in the fast channel range like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery. I really hope Disney does their own take on fast channels someday. I mean, Disney. Okay, so Epicness of Awesome 4413 said, Number 1, what's your opinion on Homestar Runner? I don't have much interest in it, but I do know it is one of the first web animated shows. Also, the same people that did Homestar Runner also did Two More Eggs. The animation alone does explain it all there. So, Homestar Runner, not really a fan, but I do know that it is well known by so many people. Number 2, what's your opinion on Agent 203? I gotta say, the animation and the look, it seems pretty good, and I have heard of it. Though, the series itself, while it might have some elements of some other CG shows, the art style looks good. I like the premise. I like the story so far for what it's going for. And I gotta say, it might as well be an underrated gem. And number 3, what's your opinion on Sergeant Frog? You know, Sergeant Frog is a pretty fun anime and a manga series. It's such a shame that Nickelodeon unfortunately rejected it. Such a missed opportunity to see it on television. If it wasn't the Funimation channel. Though it doesn't feel the same compared to what it would have been on Nickelodeon. It would have done well there, even though it would have also been treated poorly. But overall, Sergeant Frog, it's a pretty fun show, and I would easily recommend it to many people. Okay, so Jonathan Magny 7788 said, what do you think of Cartoon Network in 2023 overall? You beat Disney Channel. It did decently in ratings. It did well, even though it unfortunately lost some hours due to Adult Swim and lost Acme Nights, which, seriously, airing the Lego Movie on Adult Swim? Why? This Cartoon Network actually did pretty well. Cartoon Network did pretty well. Got Ivanhoe. It got Tangents University. There was some new stuff this time. New stuff. In 2024, it might also be a good year for them. If possible. The Total Drama reboot might finally air, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. Invincible Fight Girl might finally air, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. The Totally Spies revival might air this year even. But again, I wouldn't get my hopes up. But Cartoon Network, it's doing pretty well. Doing pretty well for what they're going for, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna do this year. Even though it has stuff like Craig of the Creek ending. So, Happy Guy 973 said, do you think Dora was redesigned in the reboot due to the PBS characters Molly McBray and Rosie Fuentes taking her design? Well, not really. Well, not at all, actually. That's not the reason why. I think the reason why is because they wanted to experiment a CGI version of Dora, and it's simple. And the concept art was more akin to the 2D design, while this one's more different. And I guess that's how they think for a preschool animated series. Though there's still some 2D anime ones that will be underway. CGI seems to be the main focus for a preschool animated series. Unless you're PBS Kids, which is sometimes, but most of the time, it's 2D animation to them. Cartoon Fan 9015 said, do you think that WB would be better with Universal or Paramount? And what do you think of my voice impressions? I think your voice impressions are pretty good. Gotta say, your voice impressions are pretty spot on in my opinion. But, NBC Universal, they have more money. They can buy Warner Bros. Discovery if they're interested. Because there are so many reasons I gotta say it can work. I mean, with the Warner Bros. Discovery merger, they're already doing it in an interesting way with Discovery Family on Experiment to put Warner Bros. Content there. They might do the Universal Kids too. Like, if they decide to do that. And DreamWorks and Warner Bros. Stuff to be combined like that, it can be quite useful in a way. I do wish that it would phase out on reality shows, but given the fact that NBC Universal owns Bravo, that's never gonna happen. Especially with TLC. But NBC Universal, I can see them purchasing Warner Bros. Discovery. Because they have a lot more money, and if they are interested, they can easily work. Because Warner Bros. Discovery, they couldn't afford Paramount. The depth is so high. NBC Universal, hands down, I can see it work. The rumors might as well happen at this point, if possible. If that's ever going to happen, NBC Universal and Warner Bros. Discovery, if they want to do this, it might as well happen. Especially that, I mean, they have Felix Cat. They have Woody the Woodpecker. Warner Bros. Has Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry. They can work. They can work in a way. Even though I despise mergers like Crunchyroll and Funimation, which I honestly think is worse than Warner Bros. Discovery merger in my opinion, this NBC Universal and Warner Bros. Discovery, it might happen one day. It might be likely. The Paramount one, not gonna happen anywhere. It's not gonna happen anyway, because... Okay, so Master Sprout Gamer 9327 said, Number 1, what's your opinion on the Sonic video game franchise? Well, the Sonic video game franchise, you can get some good games, like Sonic Mania, or you can get some bad games, like, Sonic 06 to many people. I mean, I gotta say, it is kind of overhated, but to many... Well, if I gotta be honest, the Sonic Boom games, except for Fire and Ice, oh, they were horrible. They were bad. They were really bad. But Sonic games, it can be a bit of a bumpy road. And due to how they work, they can be pretty good. They can be pretty bad. That's how it works for the Sonic games. They can just end up being mixed. Especially with stuff that can be really good, like Sonic Mania. And that explains it all here at this point, because Sonic Frontiers, many people did like it, and then Sonic Superstars came in, and it was kind of mixed by many people, I guess, so that might as well explain it all at this point. Number 2, since My Little Pony Friendship Magic stopped airing in reruns on Discovery Family, I don't think it is for now. Neither think it'll end up moving to Cartoonito. So how would you react? With Hasbro having that license to expire on their contract in 2025, I honestly doubt it. Because My Little Pony Friendship Magic doesn't really count as a preschool animated series. Just because the show is rated TY doesn't mean it's aimed for preschoolers. Take Arthur, for instance. That is not a preschool show. That is aimed towards the 5 through 8, or even the 6 to 11 demographic. Most of the shows from PBS Kids Go, they are not for preschoolers. They're aimed towards older children, yet they were given a TY rating. I honestly think that My Little Pony Friendship Magic, it's not my thing. I don't care about it. But I can easily see it being on Tubi, because Tubi has the other hub shows. That right here might explain it all. I don't think it'll ever be on Cartoonito at this point. And it's still going to be on Discovery Family up until, very likely, 2025. Number 3, have you ever seen Stupid Orange? It's a series created by YouTuber Millennium Force as a parody of Annoying Orange, which Orange himself always says, "Oh, Millennium Force, you're so stupid." No, I have never seen it. Number 4, will the Flintstones be airing on Discovery Family along with Scooby-Doo? Where are you in the 80s Richie Rich show? You know, I can easily see it. I mean, Discovery Family, it just shouldn't be really shut down at this point anymore. Thanks to the new thing with Warner Bros. Discovery, one of the only good things about that company merger. Airing the Flintstones? I can go with that. I mean, ever since Discovery Family decided to have Warner Bros. Content, and now they decided to have the Looney Tunes, they might as well have Tom and Jerry too. I can see the channel rebranding as a Warner Bros. Family Network. You might as well even have some acquisitions. Even some stuff from like King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers from that whole license thing on Disney and Adult Swim. And Fox. This right here, yeah. A rebrand. Having some cartoons airing on prime time like Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo. It can work. I can honestly see it work at this point for Discovery Family to rebrand as a Warner Brothers Family Network. And speaking of which, I can easily say that the Tom and Jerry Kids show, it can also be an easy fit on Discovery Family thanks to its new moves. Slowly phasing out Hasbro programming. The next one, what will your reaction be if Universal relaunch Universal Kids as Sprout, and why? Oh, I wish that Sprout would relaunch as an entire 24-hour network. Just move all the preschool stuff to Sprout, and oh yeah, get rid of Coco Melon. Just get rid of that. No one needs that on television. Just no. But if I would see, if they would ever do that, which I doubt it, Universal Kids would focus on the 6 to 11 demographic, while Sprout would be backing away, and it would be pretty cool, though I doubt it at this point, because they might shut Universal Kids down. It's just generic kids network, despite having some changes, which is surprising. But, I would be in if they do it. Heck, I would be in if they try to do it on a fast network. A fast Sprout network? Yeah, I like the idea. A Sprout fast network that could be enabled like Roku channel. That could be a pretty cool thing to see if that would ever happen. Okay, what if some of the Japanese anime series like the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Love Live series of anime shows began streaming on Paramount Plus? If I gotta be honest, Love Live fits better on Disney Plus. Superstar is apparently on Disney Plus in some countries, and if I gotta be honest, this show, it kind of feels like a Disney show to me. Like, when I saw an episode of Love Live, it felt like, oh yeah, this screams Disney Channel. And also the fact that there is something crazy on Paramount that is easily a fun fact. TMS did work on some episodes of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, so I guess that kind of counts as an anime, I guess. Kinda, not really. And the same could go to Heap Clip too, because it also had episodes that were held by TMS Entertainment. And of course, a lot of people decide to consider Avatar and Legend of Korra as anime, so I guess that counts too. But it would be crazy if Paramount actually gets actual anime, because they really haven't at this point as of now. Not sure if they're really interested. Maybe in the future they might. That would actually be surprising. Hey, imagine if they actually got the rights to have the Nick Jr. anime again, like the Noozles and the Little Bits, and even Mai the Bee. You would never know what will happen with Paramount Plus. Okay, and have you ever heard of the British handheld video game console called the Evercade? No, but I gotta say, it kind of reminds me of a Sega Game Gear. It looks pretty cool. Has that nice shape style of a Sega Game Gear, in my opinion. Overall, it does look pretty nice. Okay, so Webzilla8883 said, Number 1, when do you think Gumball Season 7 will be released? Probably this year or next year, 2024 or 2025, though I do wish that those animation pages should just stop using this same picture. Like, there are more pictures in Gumball to use. It's just my saying there. There are a lot of pictures of Gumball other than this one. Just a little honest here. And what are your thoughts on that one Teen Titans Go episode celebrating Warner Bros. 100th anniversary? Okay, so that special alone, I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. It was pretty fun and enjoyable and crazy, and it had the Cartoon Network characters. Yes, there were some flaws in the whole Robin thing, though he got his karma at the end. And, yeah, this special was fun. Though the Disney Once Upon a Story short film easily dethrones that. It's just amazing. But what Cartoon Network did, not Cartoon Network did, Teen Titans Go did, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun in my opinion. It's just crazy that Michigan J-Frog was the villain. And it led to all that stuff. And oh geez, he was in this the entire time with his real name. And then it led to Robin getting karma. It was a crazy fun special in my opinion. Okay, so this is from Randall Tom Brewster. Number 1, how do you feel about HBO Kids and its downfall? HBO Kids is just jam, but with just a new name. I won't be surprised if they decide to shut it down at this point because the block is on autopilot and the HBO family just focus more on their movies and not this anymore. Ever since the Sesame Workshop stuff, including Sesame Street, left the block. Number 2, do you think that Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount will merge? No. Just look at the depth. Number 3, remember the flop that was Patty the Pelican? Yes, I have heard of it, but it's crazy. A coloring book was published, and the Michigan State University Library currently has a copy of this rare coloring book in their possession, as it is also in the public domain. Thoughts on ElsaGate? Yeah, ElsaGate is just plain horrible, and it's not a show. How are these made for children? It is very uncomfortable, and ElsaGate as an entire thing? No. Just no. Thoughts on Masha and the Bear? Look, I don't mind its success in Russia, but my goodness, Universal Kids, you need to calm down with all this, Masha. The show itself, it's okay, I guess. I honestly don't really care. But, my goodness, Universal Kids. Stop over-airing Masha! And yeah, it comes back after leaving the schedule that we thought was going to be gone for good. Nope, they decided to bring it back. It's like it never ends for Masha. But overall, yeah, I don't really care about it. It's just, Universal Kids, just calm down with the Masha. Thoughts on CatNet? I gotta admit, it does look pretty cool and has a pretty interesting lineup of shows. It even has Interstellar Ella for some reason. Okay, thoughts on DEA Kids and DEA Junior's recent schedules? They're not the greatest. I see what you mean. Look at that! That's too much Zig and Sharko right there! And DEA Junior, so much Masha, so much Bing, and surprisingly enough, it has Trollstopia. I mean, I guess that does fit in a way. Imagine if Trollstopia manages to have its linear television premiere on Universal Kids. Okay, and the final one, thoughts on Studio Hari as an animation company. I guess it's quite interesting, but they have Grizzly and the Lemmings. They managed to help make Grizzly and the Lemmings. That show that existed and it aired on Boomerang, and I think it's currently on Boomerang in many feeds. Or should I just say Cartoonito, because Boomerang. There's not that much Boomerangs in the feeds currently because many of them got replaced by Cartoonito. Okay. Ty also said, what's your opinion on Twitter? Oh, Twitter kind of sucks now. Ever since Elon Musk took over, Twitter kind of got worse and worse. I mean, it is kind of bad for many people's things going on, which led to many taking a break. But my goodness, did Musk had to ruin a lot of things with the platform, considering on doing some dumb things, make it powered by AI. I was gonna stay in Twitter. I'm TFA Kawaii. But due to these decisions, that right there, those decisions, that led me to leave the entire platform for good. Now, if Musk leaves, if AI is no longer used on that platform, then I will come back. Oh, as well as getting rid of X, because rebranding Twitter to X is such a good idea. It is a stupid idea. It is so stupid. Overall, Twitter, it's currently just not doing that great on Elon Musk, and while it does have its major problems, Elon Musk he made it worse. He made it worse. And my goodness, I honestly hope that I would come back someday. But with the AI powering, with Musk still on it, I doubt it as of now. Okay, what's your thoughts on the new Warverse logo since the Wonka movie? My answer, it's good, but I luckily prefer the old 3B logo better. It's pretty interesting. I mean, the new fanfare is pretty good, though it's just for television, and I'm not really sure if they have it on the films. I don't think Wonka has it. If they did, maybe I can check it out. But by the looks of it, it's a pretty decent update. I mean, despite Zaslav being Zaslav, and Warner Bros. Discovery being a company that is currently crashing and burning, there are some pretty good highlights of that, which I am very surprised, despite many problems being caused there. Overall, it's a pretty good logo, in my opinion. It's a pretty good logo update. Okay, what is your favorite cereal? Anything with chocolate, or cookies and cream, or mint, either of those. Or even cinnamon. I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is pretty delicious, so yeah, that. As for non-sugary cereals, I gotta say that Cheerios, normal Cheerios, I do like eating normal Cheerios. Which is better, Angry Beavers or Nunchucks? Really? Obviously the Angry Beavers, because Nunchucks is a bad example for Canadian animation. People say, oh, Canadian animation's so bad. But no, they're just using the most poorest examples of Canadian animation. There are some great Canadian animated shows. For instance, Being Ian, which, Being Ian, is a great Canadian animated show. But it's obvious, The Angry Beavers, it is such a great Nicktoon. It is easily an enjoyable Nicktoon with special moments, and it is better than Nunchucks, in my opinion. Okay, so Princess Sophia 8406 said, if my favorite anime, Sailor Moon, was on Disney Plus here in America, how would you react? Well, here's the thing, Sailor Moon is already on Disney Plus thanks to the whole Hulu thing. And that right here is actually quite impressive, given how, Disney almost got Sailor Moon. Because Disney had that thing with DIC Entertainment. It had that thing with DIC Entertainment. They almost got it. They just, I guess they don't really know, which included the Sailor Moon dub that many are really impressed. In my honest opinion, I prefer the Viz Media dub, because it was a great redub. But DIC Entertainment, they almost had it. And they didn't really know. That right here led to how it went. So I guess this might as well be how it works on Sailor Moon. All thanks to the whole Hulu bundling beta thing. Oh, I forgot about this one. What B-movies is getting a video games platform will want to see? So what movies do I want to see as a video game? Easily Spider-Verse. I mean, come on! Just imagine the world building. A Spider-Verse game would have been amazing. And yet, it hasn't happened yet. Hopefully one day it will ever happen for a Spider-Verse video game, going into different worlds, going into these missions. Just imagine. It would have been pretty cool. I'm just saying in my own thing that a Spider-Verse game would have been awesome. What present did you get for Christmas? I don't think I have any. I mean, I might got a late Christmas. So, number 3, any thoughts on Sophia the First? I can easily see why it is very well liked. It has a good story, good music, great characters, and the series did have a good run. I can easily see that the series itself is a pretty enjoyable one to many. And I can easily understand that. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, my favorite non-Disney movie? I mean, I honestly felt like this movie was kind of overhyped. If you like it, that's cool. But the film, to me, it's alright. It's alright. It's good for Mario fans, but to general people, it's pretty good. It's a movie to kind of have fun. I guess that's the response for anime. It's just a movie to have fun. And it really explains it all. If I gotta be honest, the Sonic movie is dethroned a Mario movie in terms of enjoyability, as well as Detective Pikachu. That movie was also great. And in terms of Michael and Aaron, they're pretty good writers. They're pretty good people that worked on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, though it did have its flaws, like the pacing, there were some awkward moments. Though, I gotta say, hey, Seth Rogen, Donkey Kong, oh yeah, and Jack Black did amazing as Bowser. But if I gotta be honest, Michael and Aaron did better on Teen Titans Go to the Movies, because I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was an unexpected surprise to be this funny, to be this great, and being based on Teen Titans Go. Yeah, it has got to be a surprisingly great movie, in my opinion. For those who don't like it, more power to you, but to me, it was a surprisingly good movie. As for the Mario Bros. Movie, it's alright. Though I can see why it was a success. It made more than $1 billion in the box office. That is quite an achievement for Illumination and Nintendo. And I gotta say, Sure is well deserved at this point. Okay, if you could pick any Mario game on the Switch, what would it be and why? Mine is the recent Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Super Mario RPG. Why? Because we got to see Geno again, and I am so happy. Also, they'd be looking cute in chibi form. So, Rena Justin Nilo 3887 said, can you do a rant on the Nicktoons and T-Nex schedules for Christmas/New Year's week? Because looking at their schedules for next week, they have gotten massively worse. I did do them. I guess this was before the fact that I did these videos, but they were quite interesting. I did enjoy doing these impressions of Squidward and Mr. Krabs on the Nicktoons version. For those interested, you can be sure to check them out if you want. And the last one, Pico5669 said, remember House of Anubis, the Electric Company, and Slugterra? House of Anubis, not interested. The Electric Company, I remember the reboot, and yeah, I remember the reboot. It was pretty good. Hey, yeah, guys! That never gets old. And as for Slugterra, it's a pretty good show, though it's not really my cup of tea. I can see why many enjoyed it, and that's pretty cool. It's done by Nerdcorps Entertainment, which does explain for the animation. So overall, it's a pretty good show, and I can easily understand that. And that about does it. That about does it for the entire Q&A. Wow. That sure was a lot, and I gotta say, it sure was pretty interesting. I might do a third one if interested. So, thanks for those that participated on doing the comments. Yeah, I hope you don't mind that I didn't cover all of the questions. But, wow. That sure was one long Q&A to do there. Anyway, guys, this is Kawaii Life Antonio, signing off. Peace. Stay cool.